Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you for joining me here for day 21 in 30 days of yoga with me. So today we're doing a lovely full kind of body stretch practice. So we are going to come and start the class in a comfortable seated position as we get grounded. And as always, just taking any blocks or props that you need to support you. This is an all levels practice, so there will be options for different levels on there. So taking what you need today in your practice. So bringing the hands to the knees or the thighs, palms facing down, and start to close the eyes or take a steady gaze out in front. And taking a moment to connect with your breath, your prana, your life force energy. And as you draw the breath in through the nose, noticing how the air feels. Noticing if you can feel the air traveling into the back of the throat, down into the chest, the abdomen, maybe the belly. Observing whether that air feels cool or warm. And starting to send your gaze inwards, really noticing the body. Taking a quick scan through. As we move through this full body stretch today, just trying to bring your gaze, your awareness into the body as we stretch. And this helps us to release muscular tension. So really connecting to that place of awareness. Opening the eyes up now if you had them closed. And we're going to take the right hand down to the mat. Inhale, sweep the left fingertips up, lift up and out from the waist. As you exhale, stretching over to the right. Breathing here, heart shining towards the ceiling. Well done. Take it over to the other side. So on the inhale, we lift. On the exhale, stretching over to the left. And release. Now bringing the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop out to the side for our Baddha Konasana. So taking any blocks or props that you need under the thighs here or under the hips. Inhale here, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forwards, keeping the spine long. Breathing into that space. It doesn't matter if you need to stay higher up here. Sending some of your gaze or awareness into the hip space, noticing how the hips are feeling today, just checking in. Inhale, start to come away from your fold. You can bring the hands to the legs and draw the knees back in. And we'll come on over into a tabletop position. So find your all fours position on the mat. Shoulders above the wrists, hips above the knees. Inhale, send your gaze out in front. So taking it into some cat and cow. Exhale, drop the head round the spine, draw the belly in. Inhale, lift the chest, shine the heart forwards. Exhale, drop the head round the spine. Inhale, lift the head, open across the chest, make space. Exhale, drop the head, draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone in. Last one now, inhale, lifting the gaze. Exhale, rounding the spine. And inhale, come back to a neutral spine position here. And we'll start to ground into the left hand and start to bring your right arm underneath, and the right side of the head's coming down to the mat for thread the needle. Now, if this feels a little bit too much here, what you can do is you can either stack cushions or blocks underneath the head, or you're going to sit your hips lower and you're going to come into your twist here. So really take any adjustments that you need, being mindful of how the head and the neck feels. And then option to reach the left fingertips up. Maybe that arm threads around the back, working that left hand towards the right thigh. That's just an option. So really stretching into the back of the body, the rhomboids. Connecting with some slow and soft breaths. Perhaps finding that sense of surrender in this practice today, Ishvara Pranadhana, which is surrender to the absolute, but can be looked at as surrendering to that which we cannot control, and focusing on sending that gaze inwards, working on ourselves. And releasing the left hand back down to the mat. Press it into the mat, coming back to tabletop position. Pause for a moment here, take a deep breath, inhaling and exhaling. And now we'll move it over to the other side. So thread the left arm underneath the right. The left side of the head comes down to the mat. Option to reach the right fingertips up to the ceiling. Breathing here. Notice how the stretch feels on this side. Scanning into the body, noticing any areas of resistance. Option to thread the right arm around the back if that's accessible and feels good for you. Right hand can come to the left thigh. Well done, and slowly starting to unravel, bringing the right hand down to the mat, making your way back to all fours. So you've got a little bit of space at the side of your mat. We're going to take this right leg out to the side. So the inside of my foot is connected to the ground, and then we're walking up to a high lunge position. Bring your right hand to the right thigh, palm facing up. Inhale, sweep the left fingertips up, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, stretch over to the right. Really deep stretch here through the left side body. Keep that space across the chest. If you're finding that you're going like this or you're rounding, then just reduce the range of movement. Come back to finding that space. Breathing here. And release from the stretch, keeping your right leg out to the side, and we're going to pivot. So now my right toes are pointing out to the right side, so really opening into this right hip. If that feels a little bit too strong, then it's okay if the toes are on a slight angle rather than completely pointed out. And then we're going to see if you can bring your right forearm to the right thigh, and inhale, reach that left arm up and over. So again, stretching into this right side body, also stretching into the right hip. So I'll show you from here so you can see what we're doing here with this stretch. So it might be that you're higher up and you're working like this, okay? So always listening to your body. And if you sink a little bit into that right leg, you can really feel that stretch into the hip and the groin. Well done, and release. See if you can float that right leg in with control. No worries if you're wobbling. And let's take it over to the left side for our gate pose. So left leg's coming out, and we start with the inside of the left foot connected to the mat. Palms facing up of the left hand. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, stretching over to the left side. Breathing here. So we're not putting pressure into this left leg. You should be able to take that hand away at any time. Stay with your breath. And release. And then now we're adjusting the leg. So see how I'm pointing the left toes out, bending through my left leg. And then either the left hand could come to the left thigh or the forearm, and we inhale, sweep the right arm up and over towards the right ear, or just coming in that direction. Breathing here. Imagine sending your breath into the right side of the body as we open. One more breath. And release, well done. Bring it back in. And we'll meet back in a tabletop position on the mat. From here, we're going to step the right foot through between the hands, so finding a low lunge and just checking that we've got the knee above the ankle here. You can always use blocks to support you as well and have them under the hands if you need to. Option to inhale, reach the fingertips up, lifting up and out from the waist. And then from here, we're going to float back to our half split. So you can either do it without the hands for the kind of more intense option, or bring the hands down to the mat or blocks, shift the hips back, and you're lifting the right toes away from the mat. So getting that stretch here in our half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So we're going to try and move with the breath here. So on your inhale, come into your low lunge. See if you can sweep the fingertips up. And on your exhale, floating back. So either bringing the hands down, or if you want a little bit more intensity, you can work with sweeping the fingertips back. So we inhale, floating forwards into the low lunge. Exhale, coming back, keeping the spine long. Last one on this side. Inhale, floating forwards, using as much support as you need, using blocks if you need to. Exhale, floating back. Well done. Bring the hands down to the mat, float the right leg back. And we'll take the same on the left side. So bring that left foot through between the hands. Check that the front knee stacked above the ankle. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, lifting up and out from the waist. Exhale, float it back to your half split. In the half split, the leg does not have to be completely straight. Just come to a place where you can feel the stretch and the opening. And now we're going to float from here. So we inhale, lifting, coming into your low lunge. Exhale, see if you can float back to that half split, maybe reaching the fingertips back, working with a bit of balance as well here. Inhale, coming back to your low lunge. Exhale, floating back to half split. Inhale, last one, low lunge. You can go at your own pace with your own breath here as well, listening to your breath, your body, what you need. Pausing here in the half split. That's such a good one. And then coming back to your tabletop position. Tuck the toes under and exhale, send your hips to the sky for your downward facing dog. Take a little pedal out through the feet here, bending one leg then the other. Sending your gaze between the knees, just pressing that mat away with the hands. From here, we'll inhale the right leg up, so taking our three-leg dog. So again, your three-leg dog could be just hovering that leg away. Maybe you're opening into the hips and sweeping it right up. Just take what is right for you in your practice. And then option to bend this right leg, so this gives us an extra stretch into the quad. Again, just an option. Float the right foot through between the hands. Reach the fingertips up, lift up and out from the waist, high lunge. Open out and find your warrior two, so bringing that left heel down, reaching the fingertips away, gaze comes over the right fingertips. Flip the right palm up so that it's facing the ceiling. Inhale, lift up and out from the waist, find your reverse warrior. Exhale, float through warrior two and into your extended side angle. So forearm to thigh, or that right hand could come down to the mat. Once more, inhale, find your reverse warrior. Exhale, float into your extended side angle. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Open out so you're in a wide leg position with the toes pointing forwards. Hands come to the hips. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, folding, so finding our Prasarita Padottanasana. Keeping the spine long. So you can either come to this halfway point, or you can come all the way down if that feels good too. Option to bring the peace fingers around the big toes. Let those elbows come out to the side, drawing the head down to the mat. Shifting a bit of weight into the balls of the feet, the mounds of the big toes. Hands come back to the hips. Inhale, draw the belly in, keep the spine long, lifting the chest as we come back up. And then we're going to float the arms around to frame the front foot and step back to plank. Flow through a chaturanga. So inhaling into either an upward facing dog or cobra, whatever's in your practice. And exhale back to your downward facing dog. Hips are lifting. Pressing the mat away with your hands. Inhale, sweep the left leg up. Maybe opening into the hip and then bending through that left leg. That's just an option, you don't have to take it. And then sweep the left foot through between the hands, reach the fingertips up, find your high lunge, lifting up and out from the waist. Bring that right heel down to the mat, open out to warrior two. Flip the left palm up, inhale, lift up and out from the waist, find your peaceful warrior. Exhale, floating into extended side angle. Once more, inhale, floating back to your peaceful warrior, your reverse warrior. And exhale, floating forwards over the front leg. Find your extended side angle. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Open back to your prasarita. This time we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. If that's too much, then you could take the hands to the elbows or just bring the hands back to the hips. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, folding forwards and then letting the arms drop down behind in the interlace. Breathing here. Sending your breath into the backs of the legs, maybe bringing a little bit of weight into the balls of the feet. Inhale, lift the chest, draw the belly in, keep the spine long. Start to make your way back up. Well done. And window mill the arms around. Come back to plank. Taking our last chaturanga. So inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. And then we're going to drop the knees down to the mat from here and lower down so that you're lying on your front, so lying on the belly. And from here I want you to bring your right arm out to the right side. You can either have it lengthened or in a cactus position, and you can adjust it at any time. Cactus position with the arm will probably be a bit stronger for this stretch, so just bear that in mind. And then what you're going to do is press that left hand into the mat and roll over onto your right side until you find this stretch into the right shoulder. So I'm on the right side of my body, stretching into that right shoulder. Option to bend the top left leg and take it out behind as well. That's just an option. And try and let your head rest heavy on the mat here. Coming back to your breathing, sending that awareness into your body and seeing what you can notice, seeing what you can observe. And releasing, coming back to center, and we'll take it over to the other side now. So making sure you've got room, left arm comes out to the left side, or we bring it into cactus. Press that right hand into the ground and roll onto your left side. Option to bend that right leg and take it out behind, only if that feels good to. And just allowing the head to drop down to the mat. Closing the eyes here, if you're comfortable to do so. One more deep breath here on this side. And then gently unraveling, coming back to center. Press the hands into the mat and slowly ease your way back to your comfortable seated position on the mat. And as always, if you have time to take a little shavasana or meditation here, or maybe if you didn't catch my meditation from day 20, then do check that out. Maybe do that at the end of this full body stretch if you haven't. I'll link to it below. It's a really lovely kind of short guided meditation for some relaxation at the end. But yes, thank you so much for being here and flowing with me. I hope you enjoyed that full body stretch. Do comment and feedback to me on how you're getting on, and do subscribe to this channel. It's completely free. I can't wait to see you again very soon. Take care. Bye bye.